The Earth only has a 3-month supply of food, and if production stops, humanity has nothing to eat in 90 days. Unfortunately, most of the population is still not taking this crisis seriously, and this is by Michael Snyder. We're far closer to a potential global cataclysm than most people would dare to imagine. Right now, leaders from all across the political spectrum are openly warning us that a worldwide food crisis is coming. But when people in the Western world hear of such warnings, most of them assume that it will just be something that affects poor people in Africa or Asia. Unfortunately, that will not be the case this time around. We truly are in unprecedented territory, and we're going to see things happen in the months ahead that once would have been absolutely unthinkable. Global hunger had already been steadily rising for the past couple of years due to the COVID pandemic. Now a confluence of events here threatens to create a true global nightmare. Right now, we're still eating food that was previously grown, but it's the food that will not be grown in the months ahead that will be the real problem. Because the truth is that we do not have much of a buffer to work with at all. David Friedberg is an early Google executive who started the farming insurance company Climate Corporation, and he just told the All In podcast that the Earth operates on a 90-day food supply. He said the whole planet Earth operates a 90-day food supply. That means that once we stop making food, humans run out of food in 90 days. It's estimated that approximately 7.9 billion people currently live on the planet, and feeding everyone is a real challenge, even if everything goes perfectly. Unfortunately, global conditions have been much less than perfect for the past couple of years, and Friedberg says that the new global energy crisis has pushed the cost of key fertilizer components to levels that are absolutely insane. The price of nitrogen has gone from $200 to $1,000. The price of potassium has gone from $200 to $700. The price of phosphorus has gone from $250 to $700. So now it's so expensive to grow a crop that a lot of farmers around the world are pulling acres out of production. So they're going to grow less this year than they would have otherwise because it's so expensive and they cannot access fertilizer, he explained. Food supplies are going to go down and it's going to be catastrophic. Many farmers all over the world will try to grow food without fertilizer this year, but this will result in a whole lot less food being grown. In one of the latest videos, Chris Martenson compared rice plants that were grown with phosphorus to rice plants that were not given any phosphorus. I was absolutely blown away by the difference. As global food production drops precipitously, there simply will not be enough food for everyone in the months ahead. Of course, the wealthy nations will buy up what is available, driving up prices in the process, and the poorer nations will be left out in the cold. In fact, this is already happening. In March, the global price of food rose at the fastest monthly pace ever recorded. March food prices index for the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, FAO, printed 159.3 points in March, up 19.15 points from February, when it had already reached record highs. The index was up 33.6% from the same time last year. The March rise in food prices is stunning 12.64% month over month, almost double the previous record monthly surge. If you are looking for red flags, you just found one. Food riots have already begun in some parts of the globe. For example, you can see a clip from the rioting in Peru. In the months ahead, it's only going to get worse. And thanks to the war in Ukraine, the price of wheat is up almost 20% last month. The war helped push cereal prices up 17% over the past month with the closure of ports, throttling wheat and maize exports from Ukraine. Russian exports have also been slowed by financial shipping problems. World wheat prices soaring almost 20%, while maize prices posted 19.1% month-on-month increase, hitting a record high along with those of barley and sorghum. As I've discussed previously, Russia and Ukraine normally export enormous amounts of food to the rest of the planet, but that won't be the case this year. Sadly, it's been projected that corn production in Ukraine will be cut by more than half. Ukraine is one of the world's top exporters of corn, sunflower oil, and wheat. Disruptions stemming from Russia's invasion of Ukraine have stoked fears the war-torn country could experience a 50% decline in crop output this year, according to Bloomberg. Forecast data from AG expert Agroconsult shows Ukraine's corn output could be as low as 19 million tons, about half of last year's 41 million tons, and the Ukrainians have already announced that they won't be exporting any of their production at all this year because they need it to feed their own population during the war. Here in the United States, the bird flu pandemic continues to escalate, and as a result, the price of eggs has more than doubled in recent weeks. A deadly, highly infectious avian flu is forcing U.S. farmers to kill millions of egg-laying hens, reducing the country's egg supply and driving up prices. Retailers paid recently $2.80 and $2.89 for a dozen of large grade A white eggs in the Midwest, according to USDA Daily Midwest Regional Egg Report. That's more than double the roughly $1.25 they cost in March, according to data compiled by Brian Ernest, lead protein industry catalyst at CoBank, which provides financial services to agribusiness. That is extremely alarming. So what is going to happen if this pandemic continues to wipe out millions of chickens every month? Meanwhile, certain shortages that have been simmering for a long time are now reaching critical levels. For example, Walgreens has announced that it's going to start rationing the baby formula. National shortage of baby formula brought on by pandemic supply chain issues forced U.S. retailers such as Walgreens to ration the all-important product. The company, the second largest pharmacy store chain in the United States behind CVS, said that amid the supply chain crunch, it's limiting customers to 3 infant and toddler formula product purchases at a time at its 9,021 U.S. locations. This was not supposed to happen. According to the optimists, things were supposed to be getting back to normal by this point, but instead things are getting even worse. According to Daily Mail, 29% of all top-selling formulas are out of stock at stores across the nation right now. Unfortunately, this is just the beginning. Everyone agrees that the global food crisis is going to intensify in the months ahead, and David Friedberg is trying to warn us about what could happen if widespread panic sets in. Quote, I don't know about death. There will be famine. Famine is to be short of calories. There will be a strategic reserves released, but it won't be enough. We won't have enough. The way supply chains are set up, there will not be enough, he said. He said, as you know, with any market, when there is a scarcity, people come in and buy at a faster pace. So this is a market dynamic. It's not like people are physically hoarding loaves of bread, but commodity traders, countries, strategic reserves start buying up what they can get to prepare for the famine. Prices go even higher, and it kicks other people out of the market. The whole thing gets ugly fast, end quote. That's what he said. We've been warned over and over again that this was coming, and now it's here. You may have noticed that my articles have been longer than usual lately, and that is because there's so much more information that I need to share with you each day. We truly are entering a full-blown planetary emergency, and I'm trying to do my best to sound the alarm. Unfortunately, most of the population is still not taking this crisis seriously. So many people out there are fully convinced that they will always be able to rely on the system, and a lot of them will continue to believe that even as the system literally collapses all around them. And this is by Michael Snyder. He says, my new book entitled 7-Year Apocalypse is now available in paperback and for the Kindle on Amazon. About the author, my name is Michael Snyder. My brand new book entitled 7-Year Apocalypse is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 5 others that are available on Amazon. Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, Get Prepared Now, and Living a Life That Really Matters, commissions earned. By purchasing the books, you help to support the work that my wife and I are doing, and by giving it to others, you help to multiply the impact that we're having on people all over the globe. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and The Most Important News. And the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is a great help. During these very challenging times, people will need to hope more than ever and before, and that's our goal, to share this gospel of Jesus Christ with as many people as we possibly can. And this is on Collective Spark by Michael Snyder. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.